The Conservative Political Action Conference is an annual political conference attended by conservative activists and elected officials from across the United States and beyond. CPAC is hosted by the American Conservative Union. The first CPAC took place in 1974. The conference was founded in 1974 by the American Conservative Union and Young Americans for Freedom as a small gathering of dedicated conservatives. Ronald Reagan gave the inaugural keynote speech at CPAC in 1974. Like the conference's speakers today, the presidential hopeful used it to share his vision for the country. A shining city upon a hill, words borrowed from John Winthrop. The 2010 CPAC featured co-sponsorship for the first time from GeoProud, a gay conservative group. GeoProud is credited in the media for initiating talks with ACU to invite Donald Trump to speak at CPAC 2011. The 2011 CPAC speech Trump gave is credited for helping kickstart his political career within the Republican Party. Christopher R. Barron, co-founder of GeoProud, who would later not only endorse Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, but also launch LGBT for Trump, said he would love to see Mr. Trump run for president. In 2014, CPAC extended an invitation to American atheists, which was immediately withdrawn on the same day due to controversial statements by AA's president, David Silverman, who declared his group was going to enlighten conservatives, and that the Christian right should be threatened by us. The 2015 CPAC featured Jamila Bey, who became the first atheist activist to address CPAC's annual meeting. The 2016 CPAC featured co-sponsorship for the first time from the Log Cabin Republicans. Richard Spencer, a figurehead of the alt-right and a white supremacist, entered the lobby of the Gaylord National Hotel on February 23, 2017 in an attempt to access CPAC. Organizers of the conference ejected him from the hotel as soon as his presence was discovered, citing his repugnant, have absolutely nothing to do with conservatism or what we do here, as cause for rejecting his admission to CPAC. ACU's executive director Dance Kaneda castigated Spencer and the alt-right in a main stage speech, calling them garden variety left-wing fascists, and saying that the alt-right despises everything believe in. Media members across the political spectrum, led by progressive journalists and opinion columnists, salvoed the intrusion as yet another attempt by hateful groups, like the alt-right, to conceal their bigotry within a legitimate philosophy. Opinion columns in the New York Times and articles in Mother Jones and Rolling Stone voiced concern about the 2017 interview of ex-Trump advisor Steve Bannon and ex-Trump Chief of Staff Reince Priebus with ACU chairman Matt Schlapp, advocating for the American right to reject the tenets of the alt-right. In December 2016, CPAC extended an invitation to conservative blogger Milo Yiannopoulos to speak at the event. Despite his history of controversial views on feminism, racial minorities, and transgender issues, the invitation was cancelled when the Reagan Battalion reposted a video of 2016 and 2015 YouTube videos in which Yiannopoulos is heard making comments defending sexual relationships between adult men and 13-year-old boys, citing his own sexual experiences at that age with a Catholic priest in February 2020. Comedian Sasha Baron Cohen attended CPAC dressed as a Klansman and later as President Trump while filming his movie Borat's subsequent movie film. After interrupting the event as Pence was speaking, he was escorted from the premises. In 2020, CPAC hosted its main event during the COVID-19 pandemic despite the public health risks. On Saturday, March 7, 2020, ACU confirmed that an attendee at the 2020 CPAC later tested positive for COVID-19. Senator Ted Cruz, Representatives Matt Gaetz, Paul Gosar, Doug Collins, and Mark Meadows had direct contact with the unnamed carrier and announced their self-quarantine. In 2021, CPAC hosted its main event during the COVID-19 pandemic despite the public health risks. The previous customary venue for CPAC, In National Harbor, Maryland was subject to public health restrictions in Maryland, issued by Republican Governor Larry Hogan, which restricted gathering sizes to a maximum of 10, to curb the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. As a result, the conference was relocated to Orlando, Florida, which had removed all prior pandemic-related limits on gathering sizes. The event was still subject to Orlando mandatory mask-wearing rules. Notwithstanding those restrictions, numerous attendees chose to not wear masks during the event, despite frequent announcements by the event's organizers and hotel staff, requesting attendees to comply with the local mask-wearing mandate. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis characterized the state's resistance to pandemic gathering size limits as comporting with the state's status as an oasis of freedom. The conference's theme, America Uncancelled, sought to